When we went to Miami, that was when the shift of me and her's relationship started. It's low-key kind of giving male-centered girl. Chaotic and irresponsible behavior. It will always be something wrong going on in her life. All I've asked you for was to be a friend to me. That's literally all I have asked you for. Here I am, inconvenienced by my friend, again, behind a fucking man.
I think I lie for you. I think I die for you. Sure that you cry for you. Do things when you want me to. Like control. Yeah, like control.
What's good? What's poppin'? What's crackin'? Y'all chillin'? Hi. Bet. It's your girl Lisi, and we back again with another epic, juicy, ghetto, and drama film. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. My name is Lisi. My government is Alicia. And if you are a returning viewer or subscriber, what's goody, what's poppin', what's crackin', I already know y'all chillin', right? Yeah. Have y'all ever been in a situation where y'all have had a friend that y'all just kind of kept around because of the history y'all kind of had together, and then you just wake up one day and realize that you're low-key carrying around dead weight?
Oh my god. Don't act shocked.
The dead weight is stagnant while your life is, you know, slowly on the incline. Yeah, this is that story. But before we get into the video, I definitely want to let y'all know that this video is about outgrowing, not just drama. Definitely do not forget to give this video a big like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure y'all tapped in with me on my Instagram, TikTok, and my Patreon. This is the latest video. And shout out to my 3 supporters, my 3 subbies who signed up from the last video I posted, and y'all snagged y'all little discount. Like, I'm not mad at y'all for snagging that little discount, okay? I appreciate you, Aziza. I appreciate you, Talia. And I appreciate you, Kalia. Oh my God, that rhyme! I'm also taking this moment to do my Patreon social media shout outs as promised. The first one is for my girl Talia. This is her mom's page, Carisha Lamoy. Shout out my Dukes. She doing some fire eats on that channel, so make sure y'all tapped in with her. The next person is my girl Shay Almighty. She has her own clothing brand, Your Eccentrics, and she's having a fall drop September 1st. So make sure y'all tap in with her website. She makes clothes for people with important places to be who need to look good when they get there. So it's giving grown and sexy. So if you need some grown and sexy, check her out. The next person is my girl Kay. She just wanted a little Instagram shout out. So make sure y'all tap in with her over on Instagram. I follow her, so y'all should follow her too. It's a few other people I reached out to on Patreon. Y'all still ain't get back to me about if y'all want to shout out or not. Shout out to the rest of the people that is on Patreon. We got some new people over there. If you signed up and I reached out to you, let me know if you want a social media shout out. Make sure y'all sign up for the Patreon. And the people who's over there, can y'all tell us what the Patreon videos are giving? Please tell the people in the comments so we can get some more people over there to the Patreon. When it comes to me posting on Patreon, being that it's still a new thing that I'm doing, I will confirm now that we will definitely have 2 videos a month on the Patreon, because I still got to post YouTube videos and do little short reel TikTok kind of videos and whatever else I get into on my day-to-day life. Okay, remember, it's a one-woman show for now. That's all I gotta say for now. Let's just get straight into this video. So y'all probably wondering, like, oh my God, like, what friend is this? Who, what, when, where, why, how? If you have not seen my story time that I posted a little over a year ago at this point, I'll have it linked above. All friendships end in Miami. This is about this friend. like I said, this video is not about drama or to bash this person. It's simply just doing what I do on my channel, telling story times and basically explaining how I outgrew this relationship, how I outgrew this friendship, and the things that led me to that point. If you're familiar with the Miami story, you're familiar. I'm not going to get in deep detail about what happened in Miami in this story time, because there's a whole other story time dedicated to that. I would definitely say you should watch that video before, after. It really don't matter, but you should definitely watch that video in cohesiveness with this one, so that you can fully understand why I was kind of over the relationship and why I had to break up with Shorty. So I'm gonna give y'all a brief little backstory about how I met said friend. Damn, what did I name her in a Miami story time? Oh, I think I named her Kate. For those of y'all that are new to the channel, I'm gonna give y'all a brief backstory on Kate and basically how our relationship came about and what led to me not wanting to be her friend any longer, like just completely just outgrowing the situation, the relationship. I don't have no beef with her. I wish her the best, but it comes to a certain point, and I'm sure you guys can agree, you guys watching, where in life, whether it's between elementary, middle school, high school, college, adulthood, people come and go, and some people are meant to be in your life for a season and not forever. Some people are just there to show you lessons. Some people are just there for the time, and sometimes you might outgrow that time while they're still living in, you know what I'm saying? Okay, period. I met Kate when I was a freshman in college. Okay, I basically met Kate through, this person is no longer a mutual friend because I haven't spoken to this other person in years upon years upon years, but I have mentioned them in a few story times, like early story times. We just gonna call the friend mutual for now. So I met her through mutual, but mind you, we was all freshmen in college, so we all basically kind of met each other around the same time. But you know, some people might meet others during the first week of school. You might meet some people during the second, third, fourth week, stuff like that, right? We lived on campus together for a year. I mean, we didn't live together. She had her own dorm room and I had my own dorm room, but we would often, damn near every day, once we became cool with each other, we would hang out every day. We was in some kind of communication every day. I would be in her dorm, pop up at her dorm. People barely came to my shit because my shit was ducked off real far, okay? I feel like we developed our bond because we was such in close proximity to each other. We was living on the same campus, so that's why. And I feel like obviously too, I was a completely different person when I initially met her versus as the friendship continued to progress. And as far as what we bonded over, like we bonded over campus drama, having fun, turning up, and just overall support. When it came to my relationship issues, she was a listening ear. When it came to her relationship issues, she was a listening ear. Like, you know, we've had emotional moments, and we've had, I'm not gonna cap, we honestly had some fun times during our freshman year of college. Like, I've said it on this channel once before, and I'll say it again. My freshman year of college was one of the most best carefree years of my life. It's something I will never get back, and I'm okay with that, but that was a time. Let me fucking tell you. So after freshman year of college, Kate did not return back to the college. She went to another college in her home state, her hometown, and essentially her and I developed a long distance friendship. Before I get into Miami, brief synopsis of Miami, I'm going to tell you guys about, and I have notes. If y'all see me looking down, I have notes so I can stay on track because I'm ready to go to sleep, okay? When we had this long distance friendship, I feel like we would talk often, and we would still kind of have the same vibe that we would have had on campus, except it was just over the phone. But it seemed like at a certain point, things progressively changed in her life, because not too long into our sophomore year of college, homegirl was preggers with her first child, okay? In hindsight, for me, these are some early red flags, and it's not anything that I am harshly judging her on. I'm just telling y'all these are some red flags in my personal opinion. The first major red flag that I didn't really pay attention to, which is why I probably was done how I was done in Miami, was the fact that, correct me if I'm wrong, it's low-key kind of giving male-centered male-centered girl, like severely male-centered. Okay, it was a little situation like this was messy, girl. I'm not even gonna lie to you, this was messy. It was a situation where Kate was friends with this other girl, and we just gonna name her Doofy. We have another story time where Doofy is coming up because she a doofy ass bitch. And they wasn't like best friends or nothing. Like, I don't know if they knew each other before we got on campus, because I know different people had Facebook groups where people could meet each other and get acquainted with people. But just know that in the beginning of freshman year, Doofy and Kate, they was like as thick as thieves. Okay, it was something that had happened to where Kate and Doofy was out one day doing whatever the they was doing off campus, and I guess they had met a guy. The guy in question had, I'm assuming he had got both of their social media. I don't remember how that social media information exchange went down. And apparently Doofy had hung out with the guy, and I guess she wasn't really 100% feeling his vibe. She was kind of like, I don't know what she had going on exactly, but just know she wasn't 100% fuck with the nigga, to the point where she had told Kate, I'm not effing with him, and I guess Kate took that as her opportunity. She was like, okay, well,
if you not really feeling him like that, can I have him?
Oh my god. Don't act shocked.
Doofy told her whatever she told her to make her think that, yeah, you could have nigga. And Kate winded up smashing the man like the very next day after Doofy and the man hung out. So that winded up turning into a whole bunch of drama and the ending of their short-lived friendship, because basically what had happened was, I don't remember how Doofy found out the information, but Doofy found out the information that Kate literally smashed this man immediately after they hung out, like literally damn near immediately after they hung out. And Doofy, I guess she rolled up in Kate's room on some faticky shit. And I say faticky meaning fake staticky. And if you don't know what staticky is, I'm sure there's an Urban Dictionary definition. That's New York terminology, basically mean like when you staticky, that means you turned up, you amped up, you ready to, you know what I'm saying? You ready to, feel me, tussle with somebody, you ready to curse somebody out, you ready to black on somebody. It's about to be some drama if you come up in a spot staticky. But I'm saying faticky because Doofy, like, it's just in the name, she just a doofy ass bitch. Like, she not about nothing. Like, I guarantee you she not about nothing. She not about nothing. So feel me, it was wrong for Kate to smash the dude, but Doofy running up in the room and not on shit as per usual, not on shit, not about shit at all. And to make that long story short, Doofy ran up in the room like she was about to fight Kate. Kate was like, all right, so do you want to fight me or are you about to fight? Doofy ass just walked up out the room like the scary ass bitch that she is. There's that, y'all. So when I heard about that, I was really young. Like at this point, I was like 18 or 19 years old at this point. So I didn't really fully recognize at the time that is like, you might not want to have her around too many niggas or a nigga you're interested in, because you might want to fuck up. There were other instances where, you know, others on campus had, you know, I might have been in a room not directly interacting with these people, because y'all gotta understand, like, the way the campus was set up, like there would be people in rooms or suites, and you might be on one side of the suite with them, and then you have other people on the other side of the suite who may or may not be mutuals, and they may have their own conversation. You just overhear some shit. So it was a situation where I was overhearing some people. They was basically talking about Kate. This is a whole other child. I'm unlocking like Pandora's box right now, because it's like this is some whole tea with this whole ish. But let's just call the girl for now. Let's just call her, I don't even know what to call her. Like, I'm gonna just call her Bird. No, because that's somebody else's code name. I'm gonna just call her Plug. I'm gonna call her Plug. So Plug, she just so happened to be chatting. She would say something like, yeah,
I don't understand how Kate is always talking about she broke but she got a job. She always talking about she broke but she got a job. What is she doing at her job? She's going to her job every day. She not making no.
Like, she was just talking about her, and I'm just like,
That's suspicious. That's weird.
I don't know. Like, that's kind of weird, but I still proceeded to kind of give her like the benefit of the doubt. The next, toxic whatever, I'm not no one to judge nobody's relationship or judge somebody being in a toxic relationship, because around this time was when I probably entered my toxic ass relationship with Crazy. But around this time, this is when she entered her toxic relationship with her baby daddy number one. Again, I don't want to make it seem like her relationship was just 100% trauma dumpy and a lot to deal with, because I feel like I was kind of doing the same thing as well when it came to my toxic relationship. So I did feel like, even too, a lot of the time, or maybe not a lot of the time, but at a certain point, us bonding was us probably like trauma bonding, because we was dealing with toxic men in our life, and we would come to each other about whatever the fuck was going on. So that's basically, I guess, the backstory, right? As backstory as we're gonna get. So let's ease into when the friendship was giving like long distance friendship and the Miami trip. I'm basically now kind of summarizing some things for you guys that I already told in the Miami story time. Basically, in a point in the long distance friendship that we had going on, mind you, at this point she already had her child. She was already a mother responsible for herself and another human being. Her baby daddy, I don't think they was together. They was together, they wasn't together. It was a very tumultuous situation. That's what it appeared to be like, and I ain't gonna get all into the details, because you know what I'm saying, that's not fully my story to tell, but I'm just telling y'all the surface level of certain stuff so y'all can understand what was going on. Not too long like before we was supposed to go to Miami, she had asked me for money a few times, and I just sent it because, that's my friend. At the time, I was like, this is what friends do. Friends, if a friend needs some bread, I'm gonna just send them the bread. You know what I'm saying? But mind you, what she was asking me to send her money for, it wasn't formula or diapers or, because at this point she already has a kid. You know what I'm saying? She asked me to send her money to get Ubered to his houses. At that time, like, my spidey senses wasn't really going off like how they would be going off now. Like, I feel like at the time I knew something was like low-key off, but I just couldn't put my finger on it, honestly. I just knew like the whole sending money thing, it wasn't about to be something that we was just gonna make a habit, because at the end of the day, you're a whole mother, and in my opinion, you being a mother should be your motivation to get up and get your own bread. Because it's not like I don't know her full situation because I wasn't there. I don't live life in her viewpoint. I don't walk in her shoes. But from what I could see, she, even though she might have not had the best relationship with her parents, she had two parents who were supportive of her having her kid. Like, she had a dad in a whole other state. He had a whole house and a whole brand new car that he bought her, and she gave up that life just to come back to where she was from and still fornicate with her baby daddy. Okay, so she gave up that life of stability, in my opinion, to come back to drama and turmoil. Her mom ain't have the same kind of setup as her dad, but from what I could see on the outside looking in, her mom did accommodate her for some things, and I'm not going to reveal certain information because it's still kind of her business at the end of the day. But it was certain things that, again, in hindsight, looking at now, that she had told me about her mom, like certain disciplinary actions that her mom did, because I'm not going to get into the details, but it makes sense as for why things were kind of playing out how they was playing out with her. Like, use your imagination, try to guess what I'm talking about. I really don't know, but I'm not going to spill all of her details. So, okay, let's get to the Miami portion, okay? So when we went to Miami, if you already saw that story, like I said, you know what happened. But when we went to Miami, that was when, for me, the shift of me and her's relationship started. Brief synopsis. We went to Miami for my 21st birthday. I was originally supposed to go with my cousin, and after the trip, I was just like, I should have just went with my cousin. Like, I just didn't feel like the way Kate did me in Miami, my cousin wouldn't have did me like that.
Clock it.
To make that long story short, my mom essentially paid for Kate to come to Miami with me. She paid for her hotel and flight up front. And basically Kate had a layaway plan to give my money to give my mom the money back, but not all the money back, just for the hotel portion. So my mom still kind of like, if my mom didn't step up, I don't feel like she really would have been out there for real, because weeks before the trip, she was already asking me for money to get Ubered, where she was getting Ubered. And leading up to days, the week of the trip, it seemed like she was kind of scrambling to gather funds to make sure that she had money when we went on the trip. I told her about the trip months and months in advance, and she assured me that, you know, she would be good financially, which she was for most of the trip, but it came to a point in the trip where she claimed she didn't have any more money to do anything else on the rest of the trip. This is the exact moment where things shifted in the friendship, where I looked at her completely different than how I was looking at her before we touched down in Miami. It's safe to say I was not fucking with her the same way I was fucking with her before this trip. After she did this, after she abandoned me on my birthday to go have sex, oh my God, with a random man that she met the night before. At that point, the friendship did not feel safe to me anymore. And I just didn't know how I was fully about to walk away from that situation after the trip. I knew that I for sure was not messing with her, but I just wasn't doing it. That video definitely got a lot of views, that Miami story time. And of course, you know, when you get a lot of views, when your views start going up, the hater count start going up too. And it was a few people that, you know, had some things to say, and I kind of just want to address, and not a few people, but just a few little comments from that video that I kind of want to address, because it's just like, it just goes to show that people just be saying anything just to say anything. Some people be on this internet commenting on your story from your life, thinking that they really know the truth about what happened and the caliber and character of person that they're dealing with, and you really fucking don't. You're really loud and wrong. It's one person who commented saying something,
"You really threw shade, hated, and judged her all video while saying you don't judge."
And they put a laughing emojis. I responded to them and I said, opinions are like assholes. We all have one. Because it's like, how could I hate on somebody that I chose to come with me and celebrate my birthday? A very, like, I don't know how y'all treat birthdays, but birthday is like a sensitive topic for me. So I don't know how I could be hating on someone who I wanted to share that special moment with, my 21st birthday. But okay, I don't know how am I judging somebody when I genuinely feel some type of way that they abandoned me for a random man that they just met on my birthday. I don't know how I could be hating on and judging somebody when you literally abandoned your friend on their birthday to go on a random nigga. Like, there's like, what is there to talk about at that point? What is there to talk about? Another doofy motherfucker gonna go comment,
the trip wasn't just for you. It don't make sense to even go to Miami with a single friend while in a relationship. This was your fault.
So it was my fault that I thought that I had a genuine friendship with someone just to find out that they would leave me and abandon me at the drop of a dime over a man. So that's my fault. I was supposed to know at just turning 21 years old that I shouldn't go to Miami with a friend who's single. Okay, you sound stupid as fuck. And I let that person know that you clearly have no morals or values. You don't, regardless of the location, this could have happened anywhere. This could have happened in Mexico. It could have happened in Alaska. It could have happened in Zimbabwe. Okay, she could have upped and left me. Like, it don't matter that we was in Miami. It's the fact that she thought it was okay to up and leave her friend on her birthday with random ass bitches that we just met to go on a trip that was partially sponsored. Like, are we okay? Here's the last motherfucking comment from the last hating ass bitch. You really thought you ate your comment? You did not eat your comment because you was loud and fucking wrong. You just sound like a bitch that you seen my video, you seen what was going on, and you just ain't like me for whatever reason, so you just wanted to come up with whatever little bullshit you wanted to come up with.
So you think you got better class than her because she takes off her heels that hurt her feet at the club?
You obviously didn't listen to the video, but immediately, because we got to break this whole comment down. Like, I'm pausing for this one. It's not an issue that your feet is hurting because you're wearing heels. We're women. All of our feet be hurting after wearing heels. It's you continuing to want to walk around Miami drunk as hell with no shoes on. That's the issue, but you wanted to breeze over that.
You called the guys who approached y'all dusty and you didn't even know them.
I don't need to know somebody to identify they're a dusty. Like, are you cool? First impression is a lasting impression. If you a whole grown ass man walking up to us with ashy hands, you're dusty. But I bet you didn't know that detail because I didn't put it in the last story time. I didn't put it in the last story time because I didn't need to put it in the last story time. But clearly I need to say that the nigga walking up with ashy ass hands. If you walking up with ashy ass hands, you're dusty. I don't give a fuck. I said what I say. Then she gonna put in parentheses and I'm not even trying to be funny, cocky, or nothing, but
I'm assuming Kate was the prettiest friend in the group.
And this is why we don't assume, because your assumption is wrong. I'm not even, like, I'm being dead ass serious. Your assumption is wrong, but you talking about, oh, you're assuming Kate is the prettiest friend in the group. Bitch, I've never been jealous of not one gal looks in my life.
Clock it.
Never in life. I know I look good, and I know that there's other women out here who look good and carry themselves good. Baby, y'all don't want me to put up a side by side. Again, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm just being dead ass serious. It's like bitches is so mad that I basically said that this girl that I was friend with was lower caliber. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's levels to shit in life. It's levels to different kinds of women, different kinds of men who are out here, and how people carry themselves in public settings and in vacations. And Kate was on a lower caliber in Miami. I said what I said. She didn't have to be the prettiest one in the group for dusty ass to come and approach her. She just had to be a certain type of girl for dusty ass to come and approach her. What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean?
I know girls like you. I can tell your story narrated from your perspective and it's incomplete.
Girl, get the fuck off of my page. Girl, you don't know nothing about me. You talking about you know girls like me? Regardless of what y'all see on this internet, y'all don't know me unless y'all experience me in real life. The only people that's gonna know what happened in certain stories that happened in my life is me, God, and whoever was a part of that story. Respectfully, do not come on this internet thinking that you know ish about what's going on in my life. All y'all know is what's posted on this internet. And that's that. I just had to address them few people real quick because I just had to clear up a few things from that last video. I don't care what nobody has to say. I had every right to be mad at Kate and to look at her differently and to not want to be her friend after she upped and left me by myself to go on a dusty. That's the truth of the matter. Like, that's what happened. So as for why people are trying to debunk that and try to justify that, it just shows where your moral compass is at and where your values is at. And it's down below on the floor, bitch. After Miami wrapped up, Kate and I, the communication went down drastically because it was at a point where I feel like we was equally both reaching out to each other. I wasn't reaching out to her at all. It's no like nice way or easy way to cut somebody off, especially considering Kate did apologize for her actions. She did take accountability for her actions in Miami, like while we were still there. However, it kind of was just like, it was like spilled milk. at this point. The milk was just sitting out in the sun, just getting spoiled and chunky. That's how I kind of just felt like about that relationship. It just left a bad taste in my mouth. Like, it just was something that just couldn't be undone. And the adult version of me would have definitely probably had some more clear communication with her after that trip, letting her know that, hey, this relationship is done, or I need to take a break from you for a while. I don't want to talk to you. Something along those lines, letting her know that we're not continuing how we were before we got on that plane and went to Miami. We're not continuing to such. So moving forward, as far as communication was concerned, Kate was the only person reaching out. You know, she was reaching out to me every couple of months, and you know, sometime I would miss the call, sometime I would answer. It'll be times where I would miss the call and she might call me again a few weeks later. I'm just like, okay, let me just answer and let me just see. Then it came to a point where I feel like the mutual communication kind of got low key, on the lowest of keys, rekindled, because I was having a whole falling out with some whole other hoe, a crazy bitch, like a batshit crazy bitch. Like that's another story for another day, okay? I had called Kate basically telling her like, girl, like, you'll never believe what I just went through with this crazy bitch, da 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 da. And we kind of got into communication from there. So at this point, this is now probably a little over a year after we had went to Miami. No, actually, because we went to Miami 2019. Okay, no, this was like 2 years after we went to Miami. I lied to y'all. This was when I was in my makeup artist era, because as y'all can see, my name is Lisi MUA, because I really thought that this channel was going to be some kind of beauty makeup guru kind of channel. And that's not the case. So I was probably not the best at makeup. I'm definitely way better at makeup now than I was then. And even now, I still be feeling like I have things to learn and I have room for improvement. But then and now is like a night and day kind of thing. This was in my era where I was definitely... Oh, wait, no. This wasn't... No, I lied, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay, this was not 2 years after the Miami trip. This was a year, because I'm just thinking about the order of events and now I'm really remembering stuff. This was a year after Miami. Keep this in mind. There's another instance that's 2 years after Miami. And I think that was when I called her about the friendship fallout with Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, okay? This is when the scandemic is still kind of like in effect, but this is like in, I want to say, late summer, fall time, when outside is slowly kind of opening back up. In this time, I started getting back into doing makeup in the scandemic on myself. And then once outside slowly started open up, like, I was getting people as models to practice on so that I could just build my portfolio and continue perfecting my craft of doing makeup. So of course, being that the line of communication in the door with Kate was still semi-open, I had already kind of made it up in my head that I definitely did want to use her as a makeup model for my page. And you know, of course she agreed. When it came to this day, this whole day was like another like turn off for me, because it was just filled with boyfriend drama and just drama, chaos, and confusion the whole fucking day. The plan was for me to meet her in the state that she lived in and come and do her makeup. At that time, I had a rental car because it wasn't too long after what's his name ran a stop sign and crashed into me. So it was still around the time period when I had the rental car that my insurance company provided me with. But soon after that, I wasn't going to have no car. It wasn't an option for her to come to New York because the way the state of her vehicle, it just wasn't happening. Like, and I just knew it wasn't happening. I was supposed to be in her state by at least 1 o'clock, start the makeup and do it in a timely fashion to where we can maybe have a little smoke session, and then I get home back to New York by like, I don't know, give or take 6, 7, 8 o'clock in those time range. But that's not what happened. The morning of where, you know, I'm supposed to come to her state and do the makeup, she calls me crashing the fuck out. Her now baby daddy number 2 is causing her some kind of kind of drama. And mind you, I'm saying baby daddy number 2 because I don't have another name to call him right now, but he wasn't officially her baby daddy number 2 yet. He was just her man. And mind you, this was another tumultuous situation that she was in. It would be times where, you know, I would be on the phone with her and they would be arguing and all kind of bitches and hoes was coming out and all kind of derogatory cuss words and all, because kind of like the similar things that was going on with her baby daddy number 1. And it was coming to a point where even the relationship, when she would be venting to me about this guy whenever we did speak, and it was just giving trauma dumpy. It's like, damn, every time, you know, I don't talk to her, I wasn't talking to her often at this point. It was only when she reached out to me, and then when we was on the phone, it will always be something wrong going on in her life. Like, that's just kind of how I felt. It was just always, and I feel like in adulthood it is always something, but every time you talk to your friend, you don't want to talk to your friend and it's always some bad shit, like some trauma done beat. Some of y'all that can relate can understand and feel what I'm saying. Like, I already know. It was a whole time I was on the phone with her, and essentially I think she asked me to send her money. So this is multiple times, you know, she has asked me to send her money at this point, on top of getting a trip partially sponsored, on top of when she had her first child, I bought things for her off her registry, and I just so happened to be in her state, pulled up on her, brought her more gifts for her child. This is after all of this. If we're gonna be honest, I haven't gotten much in return, and I'm not a type of person that, oh, I only do things for people looking for stuff in return, but there's no but. However, it comes to a certain point where it's like you want to feel like your efforts in a relationship is being reciprocated.
Clock it.
You know what I'm saying? So anyways, back to what I'm saying. So yeah, it was the time she asked me to send her $10 or transfer $10. It was something with $10, and it was basically for her and her baby daddy number 2 to get Mary Jane. Mind you, she had like 2 phones at whatever time this was. So she had me on the phone, and then she had her soon to be baby daddy number 2 on the phone, and he was just cussing her the fuck out, like just cussing her the out, okay, telling her to hurry up and get the $10 out the ATM so they could buy the $10 I just sent her. You see what I'm saying? And I think this was stupidly after Miami. Like, this definitely was after Miami. I sent over them funds like a dummy. That's the kind of impression that I kind of already have on that relationship. So at this point, I am not excited to go to her state, because she called me 12 a.m. in the morning crashing out about this good. Like, I think he broke up with her for the upteam time, because again, it was a tumultuous, toxic situation. And I'm not mad at her. I'm not judging her for being in a situation like that, because clearly I have been in a situation like that. I've told y'all about that. But it was like, at this point in our lives, I had already left crazy alone. Like, I have already moved on and evolved from the toxic, tumultuous relationship that I was in. But it seemed like she was in a repeating karmic cycle at this point, because you was just in a cycle like this with one dude, in a relationship with him, and now you're in a relationship with a whole other man. And it seems like the same stuff that was going on in that relationship is going on in this one. And you're calling me basically trauma dumping to me about a whole other man, when it's like, we should have learned from the last man. It should have been recognized, I feel like, in that situation, that this is what a toxic relationship looks like. Let's not continue to do these. But it's just giving that you like doing those and like dumping whatever's going on your friend. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Boom. So I had drove from New York to her state that day with not even knowing what to expect once I showed up over there, because before I even got there, it just seemed like the plans was falling apart and the plans was all over the place, because this man broke up with her. So now the whole day was falling apart because he broke up with her for the upkeep time or whatever the case may be. When I had pulled up to her house, I'm pretty sure like she had came in my rental car. She was blowing up her baby daddy, soon to be baby daddy number 2 phone. She was blowing it up. He wasn't answering. Like, she was FaceTiming him. And then when he finally answered, he was like,
What you want? Da-da-da.
I'm like, I want to be here. I think the whole thing was that she was crashing out and mad and didn't want him to break up with her, because she knew that she wanted me to do the makeup in his space. which, girl, we'll get to it in a second. She's on FaceTime with him and she's talking to him in the car. They're basically going back and forth and she's basically, you know, essentially begging him to like stop doing all of this, like, you're not leaving me, you're not going anywhere type of timing. He eventually says something on the phone talking about some, feel me, Kate, she was light skinned, right? He said something like, oh yeah,
I don't want no light skinned bitch. I want a brown skinned girl. I want me some chocolate.
Mind you, she got the FaceTime on and where the phone is propositioned at, you know, you can't see my full, you know what I'm saying? But you could see partially, you could partially see me in the FaceTime call and you could see that I'm clearly chocolate and she's light skinned as fuck. So I was just like, this is awkward. I don't want to be a part of this. This just doesn't even make any sense at this point. Somehow their conversation ended. I think she going back and forth, texting him, arguing. Mind you, it's like at this point, I've already been parked up at her house for at least an hour at this point, maybe an hour and a half, while she trying to figure out what she about to do with this man. All of my stuff is in the trunk still, ready to be unpacked and set up because I still got to unpack my stuff, set everything up, and still got to do the makeup and take whatever footage that I need to take. So here I am, inconvenienced essentially by my friend, again, behind a fucking man. Like, are we seeing a trend here? Are we seeing what's going on here? I feel like it's also worth mentioning as well that she got her makeup done for free that day. Somehow we got in her car, cause I was definitely in the passenger seat. I don't know how that happened. And when I think we was driving around in her car. She wanted to drive over to the house, right? But she didn't want me to use up the gas in my rental. She was like, we're just gonna take a drive real quick. I'm like, okay. It was so bad to the point that she somehow lost her wallet. Okay, her wallet somehow crawled out of her car. I don't know how her wallet crawled out of her car to where we are at a stoplight and a homeless person comes up to the car basically trying to return her wallet. Like, I don't know if he saw that she dropped it. Like, I was just so confused because it was just so much going on, chaos, turmoil, and drama. Because I'm like, when did you even drop your wallet? Like, we did not even come out of this car. Like, how did that even happen? And how did this man just pop up at the side of the car, handed you your wallet? It was a whole homeless man. So when he come up to the door trying to give her the wallet,
This, you dropped it.
she was like, like crashing out and then returning her wallet. So I was just like, oh my God, like, I was just supposed to come here today and do makeup, and now we're driving around town trying to find her soon-to-be baby daddy number 2 because he don't want to be with her and he done called her everything under the sun but a child of God. We get to the soon-to-be baby daddy number 2 house. I'm sitting in the car, and I guess she go inside and she have whatever little conversation that she have with him. Probably about 30-40 minutes later, No ma'am. She comes back in the car. She's like, okay,
We'll just do the makeup here.
at that point, we went back to her house. I hopped in my real rental car and followed her back over to her soon-to-be baby daddy number 2 house. And yeah, we get to the baby daddy number 2, soon-to-be baby daddy number 2 house, y'all. And you know, I'm just trying to keep it I'm just trying to keep it cordial, like, and act like I don't know that y'all have been hooping and hollering and bickering all fucking day. Because at this point now, I had got to her state around 1 o'clock ish. At this point, it is probably about 4 or 5 p.m. That's when I actually get around to actually setting things up and starting her makeup. I'm kind of already like low-key drained at this point because I had to drive probably like 2 hours to get to her, or maybe an hour and a half to get to her. And then it was just so much time that was wasted between her dealing with this guy, and then now I'm doing the makeup at the house. Like, okay, again, I'm not trying to judge nobody for their situation, but feel me, when we walked up in this crib, I was just looking around and I was just like, this is how the Nick is living and this is what you're fiending over? Like, this is the life you're fiending over? But this is what I'm saying, like, in my head. Okay, whatever. I set up everything and I do the makeup. The makeup comes out nice or whatever. I did wind up chilling with them for a little bit after. We did have a smoke session, but I don't have no concrete proof of anything. I didn't bring anything up at the time because it really is not that deep to me, because I get this for free. I get it very easily, you know what I'm saying? But I had some of my supplies on the bed on his bed, I guess, for the smoke session, because that was like the only place like we could put stuff at, on the bed. I had it on the bed while I was doing her makeup. A lot had happened between me doing her makeup, me setting up stuff, me breaking down stuff, me taking my footage and everything like that. And I know, how much I rolled up for that smoke session and how much I actually used. But for some odd reason, when I got home, the amount of trees that was in my personal collection, it seemed like a little bit less than what I recalled it to be when I had rolled up in the boyfriend crib.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what all really happened with that, but there's that. At this point, you're probably still asking like, okay, well, did you officially cut her off after that? No, I did not officially cut her off after that. It was still kind of like the same vibe where she was the only one reaching out to me, and this is like months at a time at this point. And I also want to add too that just overall with her, I was just starting to notice like kind of chaotic and irresponsible behavior. That's what I was just basically essentially starting to notice and accept with who she kind of was giving as a person. And I'm not a irresponsible, chaotic person. It's kind of just like I was kind of saying, like she was kind of like just stagnant in her life, or it just seemed like things were either going like this or like this. And I was just slowly, and I'm not trying to sit up here and act like I just have some picture perfect life and like I don't make mistakes. Y'all clearly see the mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes. They're all on my fucking channel. You know what I'm saying? So, well, not they're all not, but a lot of times where I've had to learn lessons is on this channel. But it's just giving, she was the type that she wasn't necessarily learning from her mistakes. And I just didn't want to continue to be around that. Like I just, you know what I'm saying? Now it comes to the point where I think she is one of them times where she calls me, and she basically calls me to let me know that she has some great news. And the great news is that she is pregnant with her second child, with hence her baby daddy number 2, the one that I was just telling y'all about. I was like, oh, congrats. It was kind of just like, I was already kind of seeing like how she was living her life. And I was just like, I didn't feel like I had the right to fully question her, or maybe I did, because we're best friends, right? We're best friends. Hold on, I'll get to it. You already have one kid, so you know what it takes to make a baby at this point. So it's like, if you having a second kid, then have your kid and do what you need to do for your kids at this point. I was already noticing the irresponsible and chaotic behavior. Like, for example, even the day where all that hoopla was going on with baby daddy number 2, her first child, like she had just left her in her mom's house. Now the child wasn't by herself in the mom's house, her mom was home, but it was kind of giving like she was one of those who just left her kid on whoever was nearby just to do whatever she was doing. Like, by what the vibe was giving, the vibe from what I could see based off of the things her mom was saying and the vibe I was getting, her mom was like kind of on some shit where it's like, you're not about to just keep dropping your baby here and going and doing whatever you're doing, dilly-dallying and doing whatever, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of giving them kind of vibes. Now it's a whole, I don't know, months upon months later, and she's telling me she's pregnant again, and she's basically telling me that her mom and her cousin was kind of bombastic side-eyeing her and kind of asking her like, okay, well, what are you doing with your life? And she basically was telling me how they was coming down on her and they wasn't happy for her. And I don't remember my exact words, to be honest with you, but I feel like I said something along the lines of, maybe they're just concerned. I just felt like it was, I guess, a touchy subject at that time, and I really did not want to go too deep into the conversation. Like, basically, I guess, kill her joy, kill her happiness, because she did seem genuinely happy to be having another child. By her already telling me like her mom and her cousin was coming down on her, rightfully so, because you already are living chaotic and irresponsibly with the one child that you have. I don't know what the situation now is because I haven't spoken to her in years, but at that time, from my understanding, baby daddy number one wasn't really in the picture. It seemed like he was in and out of jail. It's safe to say he wasn't an active father for the first child. Essentially, she was kind of on her own because, you know, it takes two to make a baby, and she was the main one caring for the child out of the two parents. I feel like that element just added to the chaotic life that she was already having. It kind of just made things even harder for her. Me being her friend, I constantly felt like I was getting pulled into those gaps. But now you're bringing another child into your mess when you already be putting the first child on other people. And I understand it does take a village, but I feel like the parents should be the main responsibility holders. And it seemed like oftentimes she was putting that responsibility on other people. I didn't want to be the person to be coming down on her when it seemed like everybody else was coming down on her. That's why I kind of kept it cute when she told me that she was having another child. But I was just like, this about to be a mess, because this is the same that was talking about he don't want a light skin, he want a brown. This is the same who was, you know what I'm saying? This is the same that done called you everything under the sun by the child of God, done call you all types of just hoes, all kind of shit before the baby even came. So whatever happens, I don't really feel too bad, because you willingly put yourself in this position at this point. That's how I'm kind of just looking at the situation. There was another long gap in time, like probably like months upon months upon months upon months, we didn't speak again. I think when we spoke again, that is when I had FaceTime her when I was having a friendship fallout. Now this is 2 years after Miami now at this point. We kind of started rekindling, catching up from there. But even then, like, I still was trying to keep the conversation and the interactions limited, because I was just honestly in a space where I was evolving, I was growing, I was learning, I was, trying to build the career that I thought I was going to be full-fledged dived into, which was the makeup career. But obviously I went down a whole different path. But at this point, like, I was already getting like makeup clients, I was getting people hitting me up. And honestly, if I was in a space like I am now, where I have the time to like do makeup, because it's been so many people that have contacted me like, oh my God, can you do my makeup? Can you do my makeup? And I had to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my little makeup dreams kind of got put on the back burner. Maybe I will get back into it one day, but I don't even have like, I don't know. I have more of a passion for content creating than doing people's makeup right now. Like, I don't know. But yeah, the moral of the story, me saying all of that, it just seemed like she was kind of stuck where she was at. Then it just so happened to be one day I had seen that Kate had started a hair page. She was good at, or she is, I don't know what she's doing today, because I do not know what she's been doing for years at this point. I do not know. But she started her hair page and basically promoting that she does hair. I think she went to some kind of hair school and she was working for a hairstylist. With her, I was just noticing and realizing, like, every time she would start something too, it would never really get finished out. Like, whether it was, I don't know if she finished hair school at this point, but I noticed with her, like, she would be getting fired a lot or quitting jobs a lot. Mind you, she's a mother, no drama. You know what I'm saying? So, but whatever. Listen, that's her life. I can't. I'm not putting any harsh judgment. I'm not trying to portray like I'm putting any harsh judgment on her with this video. I'm just telling y'all the things that I saw, the things that I observed, and how they made me feel, and how I reacted, and how it led to me not wanting to be her friend any longer. Okay, that's just all I'm doing with this video. We're coming up on the straw that kind of broke the camel's back at this point. So when she started her hair page, she had like a few posts on her page, but not enough to show any type of real portfolio, real work, and real skill. It was probably about 4 or 5 photos that she had on this Instagram page. Whereas, for example, my makeup page, girl, I don't even know how many posts was on there at that point, because you definitely had to scroll a little bit before you got to the bottom. It's probably like a few weeks after I have noticed at this point that she has started her hair page, and she has basically, you know, been promoting on social media that she do hair now, or whatever the case may be. And, you know, I was rooting for her, like, yes, like, do something different, please. Like, you could do it, because I've seen her braid her own daughter's hair, and, you know, the hair was coming out good. Like, so I'm like, you know, you got something that you work with. People be needing, you know what, let me continue. She hits me up one day randomly. Mind you, I don't think we talked in, like, I don't want to say a little minute, but because this was around the time when I had called her and we was keying over cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So it's probably not in that time frame somewhere. And she texts me one day, and she's basically like, let me pull up the exact messages. Child, I cannot find it at this moment, and I don't even know if I even still have the text thread or the messages, child. We gonna have to figure that out another time. If anything, it's gonna be posted on Patreon and some kind of Patreon exclusive for receipts. Yeah, that's what we gonna have to do for this video. Hopefully we have some Patreon exclusive receipts, because if I don't have the text thread, I don't have the text thread. I don't know what to tell y'all. She basically was alluding to the fact that being both of us are in the beauty industry, that, you know, we can eventually open up our own store one day, and, you know, have this dream career and live happily ever after into the sunset. You know, at that time, I didn't fully shut down her idea or her desire to want to do something like that with me, because I was still kind of, I guess, clearly holding on to the friendship, even though the whole Miami situation happened 2 years ago at this point. I had the door open and was clearly still holding on to the friendship, but I still feel like I had some kind of resentment towards her for how things went down on that trip, and now the minor experience that I've had with her after that trip. Now, I'm not saying that it's right that I was still leaving the door open for communication, knowing that I didn't really fuck with her like that because of her actions on that trip. But that's just a learning lesson that I had to go through. And now I know moving forward that I have to be very intentional and very communicative, and setting boundaries in all relationships that I have. And if a situation is not serving me, I need to distance myself and clearly let somebody know this is what we're doing and this is what we're not doing. But I did not have this in me at this time. When I responded to her, I basically let her know, like, yeah, you know, that's something that we could possibly eventually do down the line, but, you know, you need to build up your own stuff. I didn't tell her, like, I have a portfolio and you don't, but I basically was telling her, like, you need to build up your portfolio. You need to make business cards. Like, I'm basically kind of low-key giving her a formula on how to start up her business and start getting clientele, because I don't feel like I've mastered everything that there is to master as far as being an entrepreneur, being a content creator, being a makeup artist. But I definitely feel like I for sure have the qualities, and I have the discipline, and I have it in me to start some shit up, because I've done it before. And I know, especially with the makeup, if I had invested into it full time, who knows, I might be your favorite makeup artist today. I might still have a chance of being your favorite makeup artist, you know what I'm saying? But I was basically kind of letting her know, like, babes, you got to build up your stuff on your own before you and I can come together and open up a shop. I like the idea, but it's just an idea right now, because even though I was getting clients and, you know, I was posting on my makeup page ever so often during this time, I was still very much on the come up myself. So I'm like, please do not look at me for all the answers, because I'm still trying to figure out shit myself. And that's how I feel right now. I'm still trying to figure out shit myself. I know to her, it probably looked like I had it going on, but on my end, I'm still trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying? So I know that's how it could probably look with my channel possibly too, for people who are on the come up. Like, I'm still on the same marathon as y'all. Like, don't get it confused. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it confused. So that's what I basically kind of let her know. I was sending her little paragraphs. I was sending her voice notes, basically encouraging her and motivating her on what she need to do, make business cards, go around, advertise that you do kids hair. That's about to be the fastest way for you to make some money. Talk about you do kids hair, because it's so many parents out here that they don't know how to do their child hair. They don't have the time to do their child hair, and they would just rather pay somebody. That's some easy money for you to get. So I'm basically kind of putting her on game like that. Oh, and I also want to add too, because this is where the whole best friend thing kind of came. This is why I wish I had this message, girl. I can't find it right now. When she started off that message, she started it off, I feel like, in my opinion, essentially kind of buttering me up, because she was basically like,
Alicia, you're my best friend,
and I think we should do boo ba doo ba doo ba doo ba doo ba doo ba doo. And her calling me her best friend, it honestly threw me off, because she had a whole other friend that for years she would publicly refer to as her best friend. I was never in that role up until now, and for me it just felt sudden and out the blue and just random, because I'm like, like, where is this even coming from? Right? That's how the whole message was kind of set up. I said everything that I said back, and I did not get a response for like a few days. I was not tripping about it, because I know that she got her own life and she got her own stuff going on, but I was not expecting to see what I saw after I just basically gave her a whole bunch of motivation, trying to put her on game, trying to tell her, like, this is what you need to do if you want your shit to pop, build your portfolio. She responded back to me asking me for the umpteenth time to send her money. She proceeds to ask me if I could send her $5 and she would give it back to me 2 days from the date that she asked me. At that point, for me, that was kind of like the moment when the straw had kind of broke the camel's back. And I just want to be clear, like, the moment wasn't about her asking me for $5, because $5 is nothing. You know, like, literally $5 is nothing. But it was more so for me of the symbolism and just the principle of the relationship and what I was kind of realizing and what was going on at this point. I had just encouraged her, motivated her, supported, you know, her dreams, something that she was interested in doing, and a possible collaboration between her and I in the future. And she ignored what I said between the paragraphs and the voice notes that I took the time out of my day to send her, putting her on game, telling her what she needed to do if she's trying to elevate her hairstylist career. And she just blatantly ignored everything I said and turned around and asked me for money. And this is after you essentially buttered me up, saying that I was your best friend. Mind you, we never had a conversation about us being best friends.
Clock it.
So I don't, like, it just, like, at this point, Miami and me giving her a gift and me doing her makeup were the only times, like, I had seen her since we were no longer attending the same college on the same college campus. I only seen her 3 times in a matter of 3 years. So I don't know. To clarify, no, I did not send her the $5, not because of the amount, but because at that point, I just knew I had nothing left to give to this friendship, financially, emotionally, physically. I clearly could have easily sent her the $5, but for me, it wasn't about the amount. At that point, I just felt like I've done so much for the relationship over the years. And I was honestly, I just felt like I was being drained, and I felt like I was being used. I felt like this was a pattern that we were in at this point, and I did not feel comfortable continuing to enable that pattern, especially when I felt like the times that she did ask me for money, it wasn't for essentials like food or bills. I just felt like it was just constant years of me feeling like I was being used, the Miami trip, the constant drama, and her prioritizing men over our friendship. The moment just made me realize that it was time for me to let the situation go. Some of y'all will probably beg to differ. I know somebody's gonna have some type of slick comment, but I just didn't define the relationship as us being best friends. I don't feel like we was nowhere near best friends, in my personal opinion. It was just kind of giving, like, the relationship for me was just kind of just coming to a point where, you know, this is her cut, you know what I'm saying? And I was constantly filling her cup, and this is my cup. And let's just pretend like my cup has a hole at the bottom of it. So she might just be pouring into my cup, but my cup will forever stay at this level in this relationship because there's a hole at the bottom of my cup. Like, do you kind of see like what's going on? Because I've never asked her for money. Like, that's my thing. Like, some people will get mad and be like, oh, you're not a real friend if your friend is in need and you didn't help them out. I feel like I've been helping Shorty out since the relationship started. That's how I feel. And I'm kind of drained at this point. I'm kind of drained and I'm kind of tired of dealing with your trauma dumping, of dealing with the fact that you're irresponsible as hell, dealing with the fact that you keep bringing kids into this world, but you don't got no money to take care of them. Like, I don't want to deal with that, and I don't feel like I have to deal with that. I don't understand how you got two baby daddies and you can't go to now one of them for the little money that you need. You keep going. So it just seemed like I'm just a friend that you feel like, you know, is gonna hold you down. That's why you keep coming to me about shit. That's why you had to butter me up and call me your best friend before asking me for a favor. Y'all see how I'm kind of feeling and how the situation was kind of making me feel? In that moment when she asked me for that little $5, I kind of went the F off on her. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I went the F off.
Oh my God.
Like, everything that I kept bottled in with how I was feeling about her, I kind of just let it out in a whole essay of a text message. And again, I don't even know if I still have these text messages at this point because I just on camera try to look for it and I can't find it. I'm gonna have to figure it out. I went off on her. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I went clean the off, okay? Essentially telling her that she needs to get her shit together. Like, I just sent you a whole ebook on how to start up your business and how to start getting clientele. You turn around and ask me for some other money. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I'm telling her, like, I've never asked you for shit just to be all I've asked you for was to be a friend to me. That's literally all I have asked you for, was to be a friend to me. And every time I turn around, you are getting shit from me. You're benefiting off of me in some way, and I don't have no benefits with being your friend. I'm just letting her have it. And again, I was really fucking harsh when I said what I said to her because I honestly did not give a at that point. I really just wanted to tell her the cold-blooded truth. And you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the truth hurts. I don't want to say I regret anything, but I definitely, if I could go back and maybe change my delivery with the things that I said to her in that little essay, I would, because I do and will take accountability for the fact that I probably did come off harsh and I probably did come off mean, and I feel bad about that. And if she's watching, I apologize for coming off to you in such a harsh manner, but I was honestly fed the fuck up with you. Like, I was tired of you at that point. Like, I didn't know you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lesson that I had to go through. And again, let's be clear, it's not about the $5, because $5 is nothing. And clearly, if somebody is asking me for $5, they're not in the best predicament. But it just came to a point where I could no longer and did not want to no longer, or probably ever again in life, want to continue to pour into this relationship, because again, I gave y'all the whole cup scenario, the whole cup analogy. So, you know, of course, at this point, when I essentially told her to F off, she didn't respond. She did not respond, obviously. She never responded. Never acknowledged anything. Because it's like, how do you even respond to that? But in the same breath, it's like you just not gonna respond. You're not gonna say shit. You're not gonna say nothing. Okay, period. So please don't ask me for nothing else. Please don't contact me ever again in life. That's just kind of what I was on at that point. It's months upon months later now. She randomly calls me from a new phone number. I guess she got a new phone number and she wanted to make sure that I had her new digits. And in this random ass phone call, first of all, I didn't even know it was her. I had just picked up the phone because I seen that the phone number had called me probably like a day or two prior. And I'm like, this must be somebody important because they keep calling my phone, but I don't know who this is. So I answered the phone. I'm like, hello. And it's Kate on the other line, and Kate is just basically like,
hey Alicia, I just wanted to let you know that I love you.
and some of y'all might probably gonna think I'm an asshole. I don't care. Like, I don't care, bro. Like, we haven't spoken in months. The last time we had an interaction, I basically told you to F off. You never responded. And now it's like over 6 months later, and you're calling me talking about you love me. I don't have anything to say to that or to you. I kind of was just like, okay, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want me to do. Like, because at that point, it kind of just felt like a guilt trip or an emotional breakdown in a sense too, because it kind of sounded like, I don't know, she was going through something on the other line, and she was calling me to do, you know, what she normally does, which is trauma dump on me. But in that moment, I did not give her whatever she was looking to get from me. I did not give it to her, because when she said, I love you, I just wanted to say I love you. After not responding to everything that I said, again, we didn't speak for months and months and months, and you randomly call me for a new number talking about you love me. And that's another thing too, like, to my recollection, we've never told each other that we loved each other. So I was just like confused, honestly. So when I said okay, it wasn't really much said after that. Like, the phone call ended. Like, we was probably on the phone for no more than 2 minutes. I don't know what to say to that. I don't know what you want me to say, and I don't know how you wanted me to react. But it sounded like she was going through something, and she was probably thinking she was going to be able to trauma dump on me that day, and that's just not how things went down that day. And from that day, we have not spoken since. We have not spoken. I personally just did the favor and just removed us from each other's social media, because I was like, I don't want to see her shit at all. Like, I kind of just want to put this friendship to bed and just move on with my life. At this point, y'all, what we can take away from this situation, this friendship breakup, this best friend breakup, whatever y'all want to call it. Clearly, in certain situations, definitely hard to walk away from certain relationships, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship. You might have some kind of trauma bond going on that's keeping y'all together. I don't know. I definitely feel like I stayed in communication and stayed in the friendship longer than I should have. Because if we're going to be FFR, the friendship expired in Miami. I really feel like it just took me to have some type of emotional strength and emotional intelligence to just completely walk away from the situation, close the door. I just realized I had outgrown her. I had outgrown the friendship, and the relationship was no longer serving me. And again, I'm not a type of person where I do stuff for people expecting things in return, but it's like, at the end of the day, let's be FFR. We all want to feel reciprocation in any relationship that we want to have, and we all want to feel like we're equally pouring into the people that we're pouring into. We all don't want to be in friendships or relationships that feel one-sided, and that's kind of the point that I kind of got to. I was just feeling like it was a one-sided kind of friendship. It is okay to outgrow people, outgrow friendships, and outgrow relationships. It doesn't mean that the person is all bad, because Kate was definitely, I don't feel like she's just this evil, malicious, hateful person. I do feel like she is a good person, and she's made mistakes as I have made mistakes in my life, and we were just people for seasons, for little tree branches in each other's lives, and we're not the root of the trees for each other's lives. That's really just all it is. So that is basically that story time. I finally broke up with my best friend. That's that story time, y'all. So if y'all ever was wondering what happened after Miami, that is what happened, okay? I'm tired, y'all, okay? It is 1:57 a.m., okay? It's 1:57 a.m. Your girl is tired, okay? Today, my day was spent going to the doctor, uploading this little Houston nightlife club story time for y'all, and recording a Patreon video and this long ass video for y'all as well. So I hope y'all enjoyed today's story time. I may have some new people who don't like me because of the things that I said and how I feel.
We do not care.
Y'all heard him. The people who really F with me, I F with you the long way. I appreciate y'all and love y'all so much. If you made it to the end of this video, put this emoji on the screen. Definitely do not forget to give this video a big like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure y'all post notifications are on. Make sure y'all tap it with me on my socials. And make sure y'all get up on that Patreon where the tea is extra hot. Okay? Okay. I'll see y'all on the next story time. Later.